Whiskey's Auto Distillery. That's where we're going today on Cars, Shops, and Collections. Yes, Whiskey is his real name. We connected a couple days ago. A buddy of mine hooked me up with him, and we're pulling up to a shop right now. He says he's got 50 cars out here on the right, Lance. This is Whiskey's shop. I've never met Whiskey before. The only thing I know is that he's a tall fella with a name like Whiskey. I bet you he's a character. Let's go find him. Come on. Check out that Chevelle. Ready? Whiskey?
Yeah.
Whoa, my man. What's up, man? JC. Nice to meet you, buddy.
My girlfriend in there? Okay.
It's a pleasure, man. Nice to meet you. Dude, thanks for having us, man. That's Whiskey. Dude, this is a nice office.
It's a disaster, but
This is what I expect Whiskey's office to look
but
like.
yeah, it looks like me, right?
Right, yeah.
Shotguns and whiskey.
You got some whiskey back here, huh?
Got some on my desk. This is our brand.
Oh, look at that.
Hi, my name is Whiskey. This is my place, Whiskey's Auto Distillery. We build the finest muscle cars and hot rods you're ever going to find in Las Vegas.
Whiskey, man, thank you again for
Thank
having
you.
us. This
Yes.
is really a pleasure to meet you, and what a collection you have. Can we start here with, this is your personal Impala?
Yes, this is one of my personal cars, a 63 Impala. I've had this car for, God, probably 30 years now. It's just kind of always been the mainstay of my collection. Something I love to drive. It gives me that luxury and that little bit of hot rod, and it has that wow factor from the paint. I mean,
It has that wow factor, and it's enough room for a big guy like yourself to fit inside
Yes.
this Impala with comfort.
yeah, they don't make them like this anymore.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
The story behind this color was, I'm not a fan of orange. I hate orange. I own 4 orange cars, believe it or not. And in this particular case, my paint rep came into my office one day, and he says, "What color are we doing your car?" I says, "You know what, bro? I had this big tank of piranha behind my desk. And to feed them, I fed them goldfish. So I said, you know what? I want them to color that goldfish right there." I said, "It's orange, but it flashes gold." He's like, "Okay, give me a paint sample and we'll set it up for you." Of course, I reached in, grabbed a goldfish, slopped it in his hand, and said, "Here, go match this." And this is what we got.
It's goldfish. I see
Yeah.
it. I see the goldfish
Yeah,
inside
the
this.
light hits it and it
Yeah.
flashes to a gold. So
All right, over here, the baby blue.
yes,
This the Chrysler. This caught my eye.
This-
Tell me more about this one here.
this is 66 Newport that came in from one of my very good customers, and he wanted something for his mom. So we took the original bent seat out. We tried to luxury it up a little bit. Took the original bent seat out of it. We put bucket seats out of a 60, I think it was a 68 New Yorker, more of an up-class version of this. The center consoles out of a 68 Charger, I believe. The AC vents, I'm not sure where we got those from, but we made them fit. It looks almost factory.
The seats now, the fabrics here. You guys do this here in house?
Yes, it was all done in-house, suede, and this is a vinyl actually. We didn't want to go with the leather because of Vegas and the top being down. It would probably dry out and start cracking, but most of the time we use straight up leather.
What do you have under the hood?
Well, he wanted something modern. So
This is his mom's car.
this is grandma's car.
This is grandma's car. Under the hood, what does grandma have? Boom!
6.1 Hemi.
Why not, grandma?
Why not?
Why not?
I mean, if you're gonna have a grandma, you might as well have the fastest grandma in town.
Yeah, she's gonna be. She's
So-
gonna be.
And we got a hitchhiker already.
Yeah, catch her eye right there. All right, before we go inside, one of the cars that caught my eye is Lance. Spin around to your left, the yellow truck.
Sure.
Is that kind of like your mascot there?
Yeah, this started off as a really junk 1934 Ford truck that had basically a bucket for a seat and a piece of conduit coming out of the floor for a shifter. And we needed to make something for the shop to chase parts in. And this is what we came up with.
This is, if you're gonna have a shop truck and your name is Whiskey, this is your shop truck.
This is it.
What kind of skin is this here?
This is all cow.
Cow skin?
We got all this cowhide from Tandy Leather down on, what is it, Eastern Sunset, I think.
I love this shifter.
We have LEDs that light up the bottle down there. And that's our brand of whiskey.
This is outstanding, man. Outstanding. I love this.
It's about 750 horsepower, quick change rear end. We did the whole frame in a wood grain. That's where the gas goes.
The gas goes in there, right? Yeah.
And this is real 100-year-old barn wood. We took the wood that's on the floor in here, cut it down about half the thickness of that so that it gave the perception that there's more pieces in there like the bed has, you know. So it still looked like the side of a barn basically. But it's real 100-year-old barn wood. The whole frame is painted in the wood grain all the way down to the drive shaft. And of course we put a parachute on. The parachute says evil.
Let's walk around back, and as we're going around back, to go this way?
Yes.
Okay. I have to ask, whiskey,
Yes.
given name? Birth given name?
No. But when I was 18, I was in a mini truck club here in this town called Made in Vegas Minis. And I drank, it was a Friday the 13th party, and somebody saw me with a bottle of Jack Daniels and they said, man, that shit's disgusting. How much of that can you drink at one time? I said, I don't know, let's find out. Cracked the bottle open, chugged the whole thing. They said it lasted about half an hour, fell over, I woke up Monday morning, laying on my couch. From that point
you woke up on the 15th or 16th after that, yeah. Uh-huh.
From that point on, everybody called me whiskey.
Yeah.
And people didn't even know my real name anymore. So when I was about 20-ish or something, I had it legally changed to whiskey and stuff like that.
It works. Yeah. Every great name has a story. Your Bronco, is it yours, customers?
Customers.
What year is this?
This is 68. We built this about 2 years ago. And the gentleman who owns it had us build it for his wife for her 50th birthday.
Wow. What did you, the paint too? What color is this?
The paint we didn't do. The paint was done by a local gentleman. The interior is like a reproduction. Everything else was just assembled here, wired and put together, but we did it. We literally did this truck in, I think it was a month.
You built this one in a month?
In a month. Wow. We stopped every bit of work in the shop. Mm-hmm. He basically gave us a blank credit card and said, here, I have to have this for her birthday. It has to be done. Get it done. Don't tell me how much it is.
And that's the kind of customer you want, right?
No. That's
No.
a pain in the butt.
Really?
Well, it's hard to do. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, it puts a lot of stress on you. I mean, it's going to pay the same whether it takes us, you know, if it takes 300 hours stretched out over a year or 300 hours consecutively, it still gets paid the same.
Now, doing some research on your whiskey, over here, I was looking at your Facebook page and reading about you and your history here in Las Vegas, and I mean, you have some iconic builds, but I don't peg you as a Jeep guy. Do you normally do Jeeps?
No, we don't.
All right.
Now, I have 2 Jeeps of my own. I have a big rock crawler Jeep, similar to this, and then I have a sand rail Jeep. And the guy who came to me on this says, look, man, I want you to build me a Jeep. I want your touch. We want, you know, your guys and your style and, you know, your quality. I want a Jeep that nobody else has. And I said, well, we don't really do Jeeps, man. Like, you know, you got a 4-wheel parts wholesaler for that. Plenty of guys, off-road shops. He goes, no, I want your touch, man. I want something you guys build. And again, I was like, dude, not really. And then he said what his budget was. And I just clicked in my head, yeah, I'm a Jeep professional now.
We just started doing Jeeps, and you're our first customer.
So everything is hand-built. Fenders are hand-built. He went and bought, he went over to the Jeep dealership, bought a brand spanking new Jeep, drove it off the showroom floor. We brought it over here, tore it down, and the only thing we used was the bare cab and the bare frame. It's got an 800 horse LT5 Corvette Supercharged motor in it. It's got Dana 80 axles in it, cantilever suspension. It's got...
you put a Corvette motor inside of a Jeep?
This is a new Corvette engine. Same motor that comes in the new Corvettes.
How do you think of this? I mean, Dr. Frankenstein, how do you come up with these
I
things?
don't sleep very much.
Right?
And you know, the 80s and the rock band era were a little stressful on my brain. There was a lot of chemicals involved.
Over here, the Chevy.
Now, this is a 56 Nomad, pretty rare car. It is something we're building for another prominent business owner in town. We've got 2 of his Harleys here. We work on his boat, and we're getting ready to do a 67 Lincoln limousine for him. And this one matches his race boat. And its sole purpose in life is to drive this out to use the boat.
This is his boat car.
This is his boat car.
So he drives down and parks it next to his boat down at the lake?
That's all he's gonna do. So this has a new LT motor. It's a L83. L86 in this one. It's 450 horse, give or take, bone stock with a 5-speed manual transmission. He'll be able to get in this car and drive it anywhere he wants in the country and get 20 miles to the gallon and not have any problems with it, pretty much, just as you would with a new car.
Do you have, your shop is, I mean, I could spend all night. Do you do parties and stuff here? And
yeah, we do. We've had a lot of parties.
And...
We've got, I think there's 14, 15-inch subwoofers in here. There's laser lights, there's smoke machines. We do, we have Super Bowl parties. We have big screen projections. We have 2 of those we throw up in here. We like to do a lot of benefit stuff. You know, I'll do charity things, or during COVID, like, you know, I won't say we were open, but there may or may not have per se been a party or 2 here.
Social distancing and
Oh yeah, sure, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, the whole idea behind this place was being someplace that you could come in and, like you're saying, I could spend all day here. Hence why we have a bar here.
Yeah.
You know, come in, people come in after work, come by, let me come by, look at my car, let me just come by and see what you're doing because I love it so much. And in doing so, they're taking pictures, they're posting social media and everything, and it kind of, we almost don't have to. Everybody else is selling this place for us. So.
Is there one more you can show us? Can we maybe go for a ride in one, or do you have one little special treat before wrapping? We're riding in style tonight. I wish you could smell it too. Just smell it. This grabs some eyes while you're driving it, huh?
Oh yeah. You know what's amazing? This thing, I'll take that thing down the strip, and you just get the tourists just taking pictures like crazy.
Yeah.
Of course, you know. Of course, I'm doing burnouts half the time. This thing's the same way. I've got a '66 Cadillac that's all black. I just did a video shoot with country singer John Party.
Oh yeah.
We did that down at the Union Plaza. In my '66 Caddy, it's all black and it's just mobster style, you know what I mean? I'll be right back.
So you have a customer dropping off, that's your next project?
Yep.
This is your go-to?
This is
Impala, this is the car that
this is
the one you gravitate towards?
This is one that everybody seems to know me for. Like I said, I've had it the longest, I'll never get rid of it, and it's just one of them cars that just pops out at you. You know, when I painted it and when I built it, I didn't want anything too crazy, but I did want something that wasn't going to get lost in a parking lot. You know,
this is not going to get lost.
And this don't get lost. No.
You can hit the switches while driving.
Yep. Gotta hit switches, man. Come on.
I've never been. I mean, I've seen them. It's the first time I've experienced the interior ride as we're hitting the switches.
Cruise down the street in your 6'4", hitting the switches.
We do this all day.
And that's what's fun about these cars. You know, everybody has their own thing. Hitting switches ain't for everybody, but everybody has their own thing that they want to go doing. They want to go to the drag races, man. They're going to the Cars and Coffee car shows down on Eastern. You know, they're cruising. They're lifted trucks. You know, everybody's. You know, it's different, man. Everybody's different in the world, right? And these are just things that just give you excitement, man. And nowadays, you know, this kind of is a whole lost art, really. It's coming back stronger than ever, but I think for a while, you know, people were losing this. Kids weren't doing these things, you know. You know, when I was a kid, I mean, you know, obviously I'm ancient as hell, but when I was a kid, you know, we played outside.
Yep.
You came in when the street lights came on, you know, your mom yelled at you, you know. Now you get yelled at to go outside.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yes. And also too, like growing up, you know, I grew up back east, but I think we're probably the same age. But a car like this would ride through the neighborhood. I would stop you. I would stop you down and say, "Can I go for a ride?" Yeah, jump in, go ride around the block, and you just wanted to experience the car when you saw something like this drive by. What was it for you? What was it that got you into working on cars, building cars? Just a passion for them, or just someone in your life that introduced you to working on them?
Yeah, I had somebody in my life. It was like a stepfather to me back in the day that got me into it. That was a big car nut back then. My mom, one of the first cars I remember her having was a '66 Corvette that we still have today. It's actually right around the corner of the paint shop right now. And I grew up in that car out here. And of course, you know, when it'd have an issue or have something wrong with it, I'd go out and tinker with it.
Yeah.
And you know, back then it was realistically it was a $3,000 '66 Corvette in '67.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what she bought it for. And you know, by the time it got into the 80s or whatever, in the 70s, when I was a kid and there was something wrong, she'd be like, yeah, you know, whatever, go look at it. You know, just go play with the car.
So here we are in Las Vegas in the 80s, and you're driving around in a '66 Corvette?
That's my mom.
Mom's car?
Yeah, my mom's car. I grew up in the back of that car, which I still don't know how I'm alive today, but of course, I guess I had lead in my crib and everything else. There was, you know, there's a big back window in the back of that car. No seatbelt, of course. No child seat. I laid down in the back of that thing like an ant under a magnifying glass in the middle of Las Vegas.
Yeah, just out of that sun. Yep.
Probably what happened to my brain too. I had a little fried there somewhere.
That's how you spend an evening in Las Vegas.
Absolutely.
Man, Whiskey, thank you so much.
Thank you.
This has been a thrill, man.
Real fun.
Really
Real fun.
appreciate it.
Anytime, man.
It's been an absolute thrill.
Anytime.
What a talent you have, and what a collection of cars you have as well, man. If you want your car, shop, or collection featured on the show, then shoot us an email at carshopsandcollections@gmail.com. That's carshopsandcollections@gmail.com. And thanks for watching, and be sure and subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes of Cars, Shops, and Collections.